This week's LoyalTV, we park it in downtown OKC and pay our respects to Carl Magee's Park-O-Meter.
The parking meter story started in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City was, of course, created in 1889, started growing rapidly in 1898. In 1900, as the boom begins, we only have about 200 automobiles in the entire state, really the play toys of the rich and famous. That starts changing rapidly. By 1913, we're already up to about 50,000 cars in the state, but by 1930, 500,000 cars crowding the streets of Oklahoma towns. Many of those are right here in Oklahoma City. Suddenly you have this congestion of cars coming downtown as people come to work, come to shop, come to be entertained at the movie theaters. That's a new industry that really flourishes in the 1930s. And suddenly you have a problem with the workforce downtown bringing their cars downtown and parking on the streets in front of all of the shops and all of the stores. Well, suddenly with all of these employees downtown, where are the customers going to park? Well, two people who walked on this stage of history in 1927 would do something about it. One was Carl Magee, who moved here from New Mexico in 1927 to start a newspaper. He got involved with the Chamber of Commerce and starts working his way through the Chamber's committees. The other person walking onto the stage in 1927 is a young man named Gerald Hale, who graduates from Oklahoma A&M, today OSU, with a degree in mechanical engineering. Well, these two gentlemen are on this stage of history when the Chamber of Commerce, led by the dynamic urban builder Stanley Draper, says, we've got a problem downtown. We need to find a solution, which was typical of Stanley. Well, Magee came up with an idea of a self-winding device that would be simple to operate, inexpensive to build, where you could put a nickel in, wind it up, and you'd get 1 hour on a parking meter. And as the hour wound down, a red flag would go up that could be seen by a parking meter or a policeman walking or driving down the street and get a ticket. Well, then he needs a real working model to show the chamber and people downtown. And he goes to Oklahoma A&M, to the engineering department. They offer a bonus for students or professors who can come up with a working model that will accomplish this concept based on that crude model. And unsuccessful. But the head of the department recommends that 1927 graduate, Gerald Hale. Gerald Hale comes back and says, okay, I see what you want. He actually designs a prototype. And by 1935, they're ready to go into production. And they find a company in Tulsa that had been making timed devices to put down in oil wells, to time the explosions of nitroglycerin. Today we call it fracking. Well, this company takes the concept, starts the manufacturing, gets the price down, and in 1935, Oklahoma City installs those first parking meters downtown, and it's an overnight success. Newsreels are made about this new device installed in this Midwestern town of Oklahoma City. Well, Hale and Magee create a company, Park-O-Meter, and they're manufacturing parking meters for other cities around the country.
In many cities throughout the country, the newest thing for downtown parking is this automatic collector of external revenue, the 5-cent parking machine. And it's usually a welcome sight to motorists.
Well, that company would last for well over 60 years, making parking meters around the world. Of course, today, with technology, you no longer put a simple nickel in and wind it up yourself. People have used credit cards, solar power. The technology has gone far beyond that simple mechanical. But the fact is that Oklahoma City had a challenge in 1933. And through people making decisions, seizing an opportunity to come up with a solution that would allow our city to continue growing, to prosper, and to accommodate everybody, the greatest good for the greatest number of people. That's what government does. And through working with the Chamber of Commerce, these engineers, these entrepreneurs, they found a solution. And the rest of the story is Oklahoma City.
Next time you feed that meter, take a second to remember the tremendous innovations that come right from your very own state. Come back next week for more LoyalTV.